Max Verstappen may face a penalty due to issues with the RB20 engine. The police have revealed the results of the investigation regarding an anonymous letter defaming the Mercedes team. Red Bull has stated that they are approaching the performance limits of their car and further updates may be ineffective. This is Formula One news, and we are starting. Max Verstappen may face a penalty if his engine, installed for the Canadian Grand Prix, is deemed unfit. The situation arose in Montreal when Verstappen was forced to stop early in the second free practice due to a suspected issue with the energy recovery system. Initially, it appeared that the problem was electrical, but there were concerns that the failure could have caused significant damage to the rest of the power unit, particularly the internal combustion engine. Consequently, the engine was sent to Honda's factory in Japan for analysis to determine if it could be repaired and reused. This was the third engine installed in Verstappen's car this season, and the fourth, the last permitted engine for the season, was used at the Spanish Grand Prix. If it turns out that the damage was serious and the engine can no longer be used, Red Bull will have to use a fifth power unit, which will result in a 10-place grid penalty. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner commented on the potential penalty. "We'd have to see how it plays out over the coming races, but I think it's inevitable that we'll take the next engine at some point," he said. If the installation of a new engine and the resulting penalty are inevitable, Red Bull may plan this for the Belgian Grand Prix, a track where overtaking is relatively easy. In the last 2 seasons, Max served penalties in Belgium, winning in 2023 starting from 6th and in 2022 winning starting from 14th. The police have informed Mercedes of the results of the investigation regarding an anonymous letter defaming the team. This month, representatives of the media and the leadership of Formula One received an anonymous letter alleging systematic sabotage of Lewis Hamilton's car. The Mercedes team immediately responded to this. Toto Wolff denied the claims that the email contained any truth or that it came from a team member. Instead, Mercedes turned to the police to investigate the letter and its origin. On this particular one, I have instructed to go on full force. We have the police inquiring it. We're researching the IP address. We are researching the phone. All of that because online abuse in that way needs to stop. People can't hide behind their phones or their computers and abuse teams or drivers in a way like this. The investigation of the letter has been completed, and the report was shared with the Mercedes team. The investigation found no criminal offenses, but advice was given on actions to take in the event of receiving similar emails. This is the second instance of anonymous email circulation this season. Last time, the focus was on the Red Bull team and Christian Horner. Red Bull may be reaching the ceiling of their car's development. The advantage the team had at the beginning of the season is gradually fading, with rivals clearly closing the gap thanks to successful upgrades throughout the season, and the RB20 no longer looks undeniably the best car. Max Verstappen's recent victories have been largely due to his brilliant driving rather than a significant advantage of his car. The Dutchman commented on this, acknowledging that their car needs updates to win consistently, as he cannot always win by pushing himself to 101%. But can Red Bull improve and regain a comfortable advantage? The question of the so-called ceiling of car development under the current regulations has arisen repeatedly, and it is possible that it has already been reached. Red Bull's chief engineer, Paul Monaghan, admitted at the Spanish Grand Prix that there is a feeling that progress has reached its ceiling. "At the moment, we're asymptoting with this one," he said. Such phrasing means that the improvements teams make to reach the theoretical peak performance of the car diminish almost to zero near the maximum. In other words, with each upgrade, it becomes harder and harder to achieve new productivity, and at some point, this may become impossible. There is still room to move forward for now, and Red Bull has announced that they are working on an update that may happen at Silverstone. But will this be enough? Other teams are also not standing still. While it will be challenging for them to surpass Red Bull, teams like McLaren are creating significant pressure and closing the gap. Can Red Bull cope with this and remain at the top in both championships, especially considering Sergio Perez's weak results? Share your thoughts in the comments.